Welcome to Land Academy. I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit.
We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth.
And sell it on the internet really fast.
We are Jack and Jill,
and this is the Jack and Jill Show too.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property.
Of all kinds, not just land.
For half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill DeWit.
Hello.
Welcome to our show this Monday. In this episode, Jill and I talk about how to gauge a successful offer campaign. There's a bunch of ways. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landacademy.com online community. It's free as always.
Okay, cool. I love that we have our staff. They put little notes in here too that about the people who ask these questions. And this person, she is newer to our group, and what I really like is she's very vocal. She's very vocal in Success Plant, our online community. She's very vocal on our weekly member calls. And you know what? I can already tell Katrina's going to be great because she's not afraid to ask questions. I mean, she's like, okay, I'm a third of the way through all the education. I have a question about these 3 things. And I'm like, God, this is so good. So, and she has really, she's got good questions, and more importantly, not afraid to share them or ask them. So thank you, Katrina. We are really glad that you're here. So, hey,
there is such thing as a stupid question.
Well, I guess there is such thing as a stupid question.
And
Good point.
I haven't seen a stupid question out of this group. I mean, probably been in a year.
Uh-huh.
Even the people who are not members, the stuff that they're coming up with is really, I learn.
Well, I think there's 2 things going on.
I swear I learn more than the new people.
I think one is our group is smart, and they know to do some homework a little bit before asking some questions, which I appreciate.
Me too.
It's almost like saying, you're standing somewhere, where's the exit? Oh, and you turn around, it's behind you. Well, let's take a moment, first turn around and then ask,
You know what I've noticed? Because all Wednesday I do consulting calls and calls for our members. Mm-hmm. And what I've noticed with one thing is that the predominant underlying theme with the people that pull the trigger on joining this group is they're just fed up. No. They're fed up with something else.
Kind of funny.
They're fed up with running their own company.
I was waiting relationship.
Oh yeah. Anything. Maybe it's all
kids.
But being fed up is a good motivator. I mean, it is for me.
Well, shucks. Well, since we're talking about that, I was just made me think of the movie that we saw the other day.
Yeah.
He got the times that he snapped. Mm-hmm. He got stuff done, and I'm talking about the movie The Founder,
Ray
about
Kroc.
the McDonald's and Ray Kroc, and we both went into that going, yeah, this is going to be a good movie or not, but let's check it out. And we both went, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed it. But yeah, the times that he just got fed up, like you just said, and snapped.
Yeah, it's called The Founder. It's about the story of McDonald's, the restaurant. Michael Keaton's a main character. Start to finish, great movie.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's what you would lean over and go,
he was
watch
fed up.
it.
You're right, Jill.
Watch, he snapped and now things get done. I'm like, oh, you're right. And then you'd lean over and go, see, this is what happens to me. And I'd say, yeah, you're right.
Just a lot of people think it's all peaches and cream.
No.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh.
The bigger the companies get, these companies that we have, and our members are saying this, the more you have to start locking stuff down.
You kind of do. That's true.
There's a time for having fun, and we do that on the show.
Oh, totally.
And there's a time to get some work done. And they usually, I'm sorry to say this on the air, they usually don't meet. Work and play at the same time. It's just not the way it is. It isn't for me anyway.
Well, my other thing I was going to say about our group is it's like at sports teams. You play to the level of your opponents. And so I think people are showing up and playing up because of our group.
Yeah, well said.
They're really thinking things through, and it's really good. So I'm glad. So back to the question.
All right, Katrina.
Thank you, Katrina. And everyone. Should we be scrubbing against owner demographics like years of ownership, in-state, out-of-state, age, which, by the way, in case you couldn't tell, we have all that at our fingertips.
Yeah, so again, this just reiterates exactly what we were saying. This is a PhD level question, and she's a brand new member. So she's obviously come to us with some experience or some frustration.
Right. Or she's smart.
Which is good. Yeah.
All of the above.
What Katrina's asking, listener, is So we send out a lot of letters. We send offers to owners to see if they want to sell their property. And one of the things that makes us incredibly successful over a lot of other groups that try to do the same thing is that we scrub data well. So we take the assessor's database right from our sources, and we scrub out the people we don't want to get an offer, because we're spending 50 cents an offer, right? We don't want to send offers. We just know they're never going to get to the right. There's no chance of it. Mm-hmm. She's asking in a very incredibly intelligent way, is there more that I can scrub out to make this even more efficient? Mm-hmm. And like ownership and in-state, out-of-state. So what ends up happening is that people come to us from all places. A lot of it's house flipping. And if you've ever sent a mailer out to flip houses, out-of-state is a big issue, right? Vacant houses, maybe there's more likelihood that they're going to take your offer. And for us, I've found that that's not the case. Out-of-state ownership for land, because it's not the primary residence anyway, doesn't matter. Age certainly does not matter. The age of the deal or the age of the person. I don't know how she's getting that data. Right. And then years of ownership and all that stuff now. In the program, if you follow the program, Katrina, the cash flow from land program, which you have, you're going to do fantastically well. A couple hundred people before you are seeing some serious results. So,
good question, but not necessary.
Keep them coming, because at some point, you will, I can tell with this personality, she's going to ask a question. I'm going to say, I never did that. Man, I'm going to try it.
Right.
So, no.
Yeah. Perfect.
If you have a question or you want to be on the show, reach out to either one of us on landacademy.com. Today's topic, how to gauge a successful offer campaign. So I came up with this topic because I, again, had a Wednesday consulting call with a longtime member, and he had a lot of questions about this exact topic. Like, once I get it out in the mail and the whole thing's happening, how do I know it worked? And that's a great question. He's been in the business for quite some time. Yep. And man, that's a good question. So we decided to turn it into a show. So, and Jill came up with a bunch of cool stuff right before we started. Mm-hmm. Well, go ahead, Jill. What do you think?
Well, how to gauge? Well, there's a couple things. Results. I mean, really, and when I say results, it's not just the number of responses, but the type of responses. That's how I see it being gauged. When you have enough people come back with signed offers, not too many, but they're coming back with signed. If every single one of your offers comes back signed, you probably offered too much.
Well, you priced it too high.
Exactly. And if you get nothing but bad stuff, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know. What's funny? I know Jack's going to share some experience here.
In the universe of so here's the topic. So in this every first time you send it out the first time, here's the reality grassroots of it. Let's get right down to it. The stuff goes out in the mail. The mailing company that we use right now, which is the best one I've ever experienced, gets it out the same day or the next day. So in about a week or less, you're sitting there, there's silence. Oh my gosh, this didn't work. I must have screwed something up. I don't know if any mail got out. The mailing company that we use provides a tremendous amount of feedback with your username on the website, so you can see when the mail got delivered and all that. This is the first time for us, actually, and it's only a few weeks old. And it's nothing but positive responses. But so you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, wondering if you made a mistake, and then all of a sudden it hits, right? So in the universe of possibilities, here's the things that can happen. You can get a lot of people calling you back that are angry as hell because you sent them way below, and that's going to happen. Some number of people always call you back. We call it the hate, like HAIGHT, like they hate Ashbury.
That's Jack's way of softening it. It's like, whatever. Yeah, well, it's good. I get it.
I was going to say that's Jill's way of softening.
I know. My way of softening it is like,
don't talk
they're about it. They're less than thrilled.
So you get that. You also get some signed offers back, right? I mean, there's a signature block right in there. Some signed offers back, and then you get a bunch of phone calls and some emails. Those 4 things. If you get a huge disproportionate amount of one, right? There's a ton of hate and no signed offers. There's a ton of signed offers and no hate. There's absolute silence, which I've never heard of. If there's absolute silence, there's a mailer problem, and I've never heard of that. So what you want is a balance between those 4 things, right? Mm-hmm. Hate. What are they, Jill? hate, signatures, phone calls,
and then
emails.
email.
So a perfect mailer's got a relative balance of all those. Is it ever perfect? No. In millions and millions of offers that we've sent out, literally, there's never a perfect balance. But what you do want, and how you gauge this, that's the title of this thing, is to buy some property. So you might do it by talking to somebody. You might do it by signed offers coming back or emailed offers in. And sometimes we even have fax. We're old school because we've been doing this for a while. We do have a fax, and some of the older owners fax back. So, but we're going to keep it at 4.
Yeah.
So you should be buying right from the beginning of your career, 1%, between 0.5% and 5%, but let's say 1% of what you send out. And you should be buying it at the price that you sent it out.
Right.
Which is rock bottom. If you listen to the show, that's how we price it. We price it way under value. So that's, in my opinion, how to gauge a successful offer campaign. And I know Jill's got a lot of other points, I hope. Or this could just be the end of the show.
That's so funny. Well, I just thought of another one, though. Another way to gauge a successful offer campaign is the longevity of the campaign.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think of that.
Because this is something that I've talked to a lot of our members about.
Great point.
You know what? Sometimes you don't know how well it was received because that person, because this happens so often with us, they open it up, they read it, they think about it, they sleep on it, it gets put in their file and it's saved. And it's someday, they know it's there. They might be thinking about it for a year. Who knows? I seriously still get calls and messages from people from years ago.
From 2004.
That call up and go, hey, I know this was the offer then. Are you even, hey, I'm happy I found you. And B, are you still buying property? Heck yeah. What do you have? So that's another nice little thing that happens. We send out such good, respectable offers. It's not just a postcard like, a pizza special that's going to expire. Seriously, that drives me crazy.
Pizza special.
It's not like a door flyer, that you're just going to throw away. You don't even look at those.
I look at the pizza specials.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
I keep those.
Okay. So they're good, respectable offers that these people hang on to. And don't do anything phony. I know this is a different topic, but don't try to be silly and put dollars or dumb things in there. So anyway, they're good. They hang on to them. They call back later. So longevity. I'm trying to think if there's any other way to gauge.
Well, so what ends up happening, again, back to the grassroots of it, you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs for about, let's say, a week, maybe 4 or 5 days now with this new mailing company, Letterstream. And then it starts to hit. First, you get the hate. To get those people out of the way, that's funny. You got to laugh about that stuff. And then you start to get some signed offers back, and you go through the motions, and then it starts to tail off, right? What do you do then? You send another offer out and make it a machine. Level the whole thing out. That's a successful campaign. It's all about averages here. Some offer campaigns we hit as high as 20%, literally 20% of the properties that we send out offers on, we actually buy. And it's sometimes as low as 0.5%. I mean, the average is out for us, it's 5% because we've been doing this for a while, but you really, that's what you can expect. A ton of activity for about 4 or 5 days later. Most of it up front is negatives. So then you're going, if it's your first time, oh my gosh. And then the silent people who want to sell their property start mailing it back. Mm-hmm. And there's no tricks to this, right? This is very, very predictable. Mm-hmm. People are real surprised about that. Even seasoned people in real estate.
Yeah.
They're very used to ups and downs and peaks and valleys. And this is a very predictable, bank on it way to buy property.
It is. You want to up your numbers, send more mail. You want to slow it down, hold off a month. I watch our members do that too. What did Luke say the other day? He's
only ever sent 4,000 or 5,000 letters out.
Right, and he's like on hold because he's still catching up.
He's selling 50 properties a month on average.
Exactly.
So, is there some magic dust that he sprinkled on the letters? No, he just did exactly what we talked about. And what I love about Luke is he laughs at the hate doesn't faze him.
No.
If somebody calling back, if you send a bunch of letters out and 3 people call you back on that first, I don't know, the 5th or 6th day, and they call you all kinds of names and they say terrible stuff. This doesn't happen all the time, but it happens sometimes. If that bothers you, in your soul, this is not for you. That's the only way I can say it, Jill.
I know, it's so funny. It's like some people are cut out to be certain jobs, and yeah, that's what you just, and that's one of the things I think about our people too that makes them successful is you and I set them up properly. I'm here to tell you exactly, that's what we're doing right now on this show. We're here to tell you exactly how it goes, exactly what to expect, to make sure this is right for you. And if it's not right for you, well, thanks for listening.
Jill and I were talking the other day, and it's really funny because when we started Land Academy, first of all, I didn't think it was going to work at all. I'm like, who the heck? No one's going to understand what this is.
Right.
So she was one in the beginning saying, no, this is a good thing. People need to share this. And so, it just cracks me up. But we met, and now I realize, whatever, we're a year and a half into this, I realize we met an unfulfilled need.
Totally.
And it can be summed up like this. We just tell the truth.
Yes.
There's a lot of BS in this real estate education space that we're in. It makes me mad to think about it.
Totally.
There's overcharging and under experience and all this stuff, but
exactly.
we have a very large, very intelligent constituency now, and it's because I'm convinced. One sentence,
right?
We tell the truth.
Exactly.
So we just told you the truth about the hate.
There you go.
If you don't like the hate, you should go be a masseuse then.
Oh gosh.
Like in sales, you have a whole long career of sales history, right?
Yeah.
You must.
How do you
digest rejection? Because on the face of it, you would be somebody I would say. If I didn't know
that
you
it would be crushed.
Yeah, I would be like, oh my God, she's not going to survive.
You know what? I walk around and here's what I tell myself. I'm like, boy, it sucks to be them. Seriously, that's what I do. It's even like if someone cuts me off in traffic and they're all just having a pissed off day.
I think that's the
I'm like,
stuff.
Whatever. I sit back and let them go.
Oh, I wave.
I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get in your way. This is you're in a hurry. I don't really care. Have a nice day.
If it's really bad, I blow them a kiss.
Oh gosh. I can't do that. I'm a girl.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
We should have a whole talk. No, we shouldn't.
Okay.
Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information, that's me,
and patience and inspiration, that's me,
to get just about anything you want.
We use it every day to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
It's funny.
Yeah, you can't blow kisses, huh?
No.
There's no way.
No, that would be taken the wrong way.
Yeah, it sure would.
Yeah. Stalkers. No.
Maybe I shouldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, you have great hair and...
No, I don't ever do it to women.
Oh.
I just do it to enraged men.
Well, I know. Still, it's probably not a good idea. Because you know what? We have a person on our staff who doesn't think that... I see potential problems like they have no trouble in comfort of their car doing gestures and stuff to people and yelling like at your people, and I'm like, this is not cool. You can't do that.
Yeah. Nowadays,
because you never know what's going on in that person's head. And
yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
It's dangerous.
It is. It's that kind of hate we don't want. This kind of hate's okay.
I took this topic. I'm glad we talked about this because the first time, I'm trying to think of the first time I ever sent a mailer. I think I handled it like I handle everything. Like, there's just no way this is going to work.
Right.
I expect nothing. And then we were buying properties. The first time I sent a mailer campaign out in northern Arizona, we just got floods of mail back.
It's so funny.
Floods.
Right. Because they'd never had anything like that before. Yep.
This was right when the internet was like sort of the only choice that they had to sell their property at all was to call an agent.
Right.
And the agent didn't want to deal with it because they couldn't put a sign on it. It's too far out.
Or put it in the paper.
Any of that.
Exactly.
So I get that jitter, that first time jitter.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show.
We are the experts at acquiring property
of all kinds, not just land.
For half price, just so we can flip it for way more.
And really fast. Thanks for listening.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.